All right, so welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going to try to figure out what to do if you win the Powerball.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so this is all based on this TikTok video that went viral a little while back
Okay.
when the Powerball was like almost $2 billion.
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine that much money?
I mean, it's got to be tough, right? Like, what do you even do with that?
Yeah, I don't even know. So we've got a finance expert here with us
Hello.
to help us break down all the advice from the video and some of the reactions to it.
It's really interesting, actually.
Oh.
It's pretty fascinating how a TikTok video can just like start all these big conversations about money
Oh yeah, absolutely.
and like personal finance.
Especially when it's like winning the lottery.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's just jump right into the comments.
Okay, yeah.
One thing that's kind of funny is how many people save the video just in case they win,
Oh, yeah.
even if they didn't like play the lottery. So like there's Lily, Nike.MamaMD, FoxyKins.MML. They're all ready.
It's like that whole what if thing that everyone dreams about.
Right, exactly.
Just like having it there just in case, like a good luck charm or something.
Yeah, like they're preparing.
Yeah.
But then you've got Goodwin who brings up taxes, which yeah, always got to think about that.
Oh, for sure. It's a good point. I mean, winning the lottery isn't just like instant riches, There's all the financial stuff, legal stuff, and
Yeah.
taxes are like a big part of that.
A big part. Okay, and then speaking of like the complexities of it all, Ashley Shortcall's comment really got me thinking. They were surprised that people would share their winnings with like family and friends.
Oh, yeah.
And it just made me think, like, if you had millions or billions, would you share it with everyone you know?
That's a really tough question, and it makes you realize like how much money like that could affect your relationships. I mean, there's no right answer or anything.
Yeah, it's definitely something to think about.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so another big thing that came up in the comments was anonymity.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one.
So the Crafting Cats NJ mentioned using a trust to stay anonymous in New Jersey.
Okay.
But then it turns out, like, the laws about staying anonymous, like, are different in every state.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, MSRD wished they could be anonymous in Michigan, but Rain of Fire said it's not possible in California.
So it's like, some places they want to make sure everything's like out in the open, but others are more about the winner's privacy
Right.
and safety, which makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a tough choice.
Yeah, so it's like, do you want to be a local celebrity?
Right.
Or do you want to just, like, enjoy quietly?
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of enjoying the winnings, the person who made the video, Vivian, who's your rich BFF on TikTok,
Okay.
she actually reposted this video because the Powerball was so high.
Okay.
She wanted to remind everyone what to do if they won.
That's a good way to use social media.
Right.
Like giving financial advice when it's really important.
Yeah.
Especially when people are probably like super excited about the jackpot.
Yeah, cool.
Like everyone's thinking about winning.
Yeah. Okay, so let's break down her advice.
Okay.
The most important thing, stay silent.
Oh, yeah, good point.
No screaming from the rooftops, no telling everyone. Keep it quiet.
It's because, when you're that excited, it's easy to just do something crazy without thinking. Staying quiet helps you stay calm.
Right.
And avoid all the crazy attention.
Yeah, it's like finding a treasure chest.
Yeah.
You don't like yell about it. You close it back up and make a plan.
Exactly.
Okay, so you stayed quiet. Now what? Vivian says you got to get a team together.
Yeah.
A lawyer, a financial advisor, and an accountant.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Why is that so important?
Well, think of it this way. You've basically got the keys to a really complicated, powerful machine now, right? You wouldn't try to use it without knowing how it works.
Right.
This team is there to help you understand how to manage all that money.
Okay.
From taxes to investing to estate planning and stuff.
So they're like your pit crew.
Yeah, exactly.
They're making sure you're in shape for the long race, right?
Exactly. They give you all the expertise and guidance you need for all this new stuff.
Okay, so you've got your team, you're keeping it quiet, but now there's a big decision. Lump sum or annuity?
Oh, yeah, that is a tough one.
Vivian mentions this.
It's about how you get the money, right?
Right.
Lump sum is all at once, and annuity is like payments over time, like a giant winning lottery subscription.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the important things to think about when making this choice?
Well, it's all about balance. A lump sum gives you control, like right away,
Mm-hmm.
but the taxes are higher
Yeah.
and it's tempting to spend it all quickly.
Oh, yeah. I could see that.
An annuity is more secure, like a financial safety net,
Hmm.
and the taxes could be lower, but you don't get all the money at once.
So it's like a mountain of cash you can climb right away
Yeah,
versus like a river of gold that flows for years.
that's a really good way to put it.
Okay, so so far this has been a lot of information.
Yeah, it really is.
Vivian also talks about investment strategies,
Oh, yeah.
diversification, real estate, low-risk options.
It's basically like getting a glimpse into how wealthy people manage their money,
Yeah,
and it shows how important it is to think about the future,
right.
even with a sudden windfall like this.
So, okay, all this talk about lawyers and financial advisors and investments, it reminds me of this one comment I saw. User E asked if they could just hire Vivian to help them.
Oh, that's funny.
Right. It just shows that people really want someone they can trust to, like, guide them through all this.
Yeah, and it shows how powerful it can be to have financial education that's easy to understand,
Right.
especially from someone, relatable like Vivian.
Exactly.
I mean, money stuff can be really confusing, and having someone you trust can make a huge difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so welcome back to our deep dive into this whole, winning the Powerball thing.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how much there is to think about
Right.
when you actually start talking about, like, managing all that money.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So we talked about staying silent, getting that team of experts, and then figuring out the whole lump sum versus annuity thing. But, like, there's even more to consider.
Oh, for sure. It's not all just about the money,
Yeah.
Like, winning the lottery, it affects you in all sorts of ways, like psychologically, socially.
Yeah.
For sure, all that stuff.
And reading through the comments on Vivian's video, one thing that kept coming up was, like, the impact on relationships with family and friends.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
No.
It's like suddenly everyone you know is aware of all this money and
Right.
things can change.
Yeah, like, remember Ashley Shortall's comment?
About not sharing with family and friends.
Yeah, that started a whole debate
Oh,
in
yeah.
the comments. Some people were like, yeah, don't share.
Mm-hmm.
And others were like, no, you got to be generous.
Yeah.
It just goes to show there's no one right way to handle it.
Yeah, exactly. There's no rule book for this kind of thing. It all depends on your values.
Right.
Your priorities.
Vivian's advice about, like, setting boundaries early on
Mm-hmm.
seems really important here.
Oh, absolutely. Being open and honest with your loved ones is super important. Have those, potentially awkward conversations up front about, what they expect, what your boundaries are. It could prevent a lot of drama later on.
Yeah, because winning the lottery doesn't magically make those conversations easier.
No, not at all.
Like, you still got to figure out how to navigate all that.
Right. And sometimes you might even need, legal help to set up formal agreements.
Oh, wow.
It's not about, not trusting anyone. It's just about protecting everyone and preventing any conflicts down the road.
Okay, so we've talked about boundaries, but, like, what about you? What about, like, your own mental well-being? Because, like, let's be real.
Oh,
Winning that much money is a huge change.
definitely.
And it could come with a lot of, like, emotional baggage.
It's actually a really important point that
Yeah.
often gets overlooked. It's not just the financial adjustment. It's emotional, too.
Right.
You got to realize that winning the lottery doesn't fix all your problems.
Right.
It might create new ones.
It's almost like you're
Oh.
suddenly on a roller coaster you never even bought a ticket for.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Thrilling, but maybe a little scary, too.
Yeah.
So taking care of your mental health is super important.
Right.
Like, don't be afraid to get support if you need it.
Mm-hmm.
Therapy, financial coaches who specialize in working with lottery winners, support groups,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. It can help you cope with this pretty unique challenge.
It's like you got to take care of your mental and emotional health just as much as the financial stuff, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what's the point of all that money if you're not in a good place to enjoy it?
Right, exactly.
And I think, even though Vivian focuses on the practical advice, her video, unintentionally shows that human side of winning.
Yeah.
All the comments, the hopes, fears, worries.
Yeah.
It's all right there.
It's a good reminder that money doesn't buy happiness,
It's true.
but it can definitely make things more complicated.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So it's not just about managing your money. It's about managing yourself, your relationships.
Right.
All of that.
Okay, so we've talked about the initial, like, shock, the boundaries thing, the mental health aspect. But now let's talk about, like, the long game.
Okay.
Winning the lottery isn't just about, like, spending it all right away,
Mm,
right?
no, definitely not. It's a chance to build a good future, a future you want,
Right.
and that takes planning.
So Vivian talks about investments in her video, but I think it's worth like digging into that a bit more.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
for someone who suddenly has like millions or billions,
Yeah.
what are some of the things they should think about when it comes to investing?
Well, the same basic rules apply just on a bigger scale. Diversification is huge.
Okay.
It's like, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
But in this case, the baskets are like different types of investments,
Okay.
and that helps spread out the risk, protect your money over time.
So instead of betting everything on one lucky number, you're betting on like different parts of the whole financial market.
Yeah, exactly. And for someone with that much money, real estate can be a good option.
Okay.
It's something you can like actually see and touch. It can gain value,
Mm-hmm.
and you could even rent it out for income.
So you buy your dream house and then be a landlord.
Exactly.
Yeah, well,
But keep in mind, real estate comes with its own set of responsibilities.
yeah, of course.
It's not just free money.
Okay, so diversification, real estate, what else?
Well, you've got lower risk options like bonds and annuities.
Okay.
Those might not make as much money as stocks or real estate,
Right.
but they're safer and they give you a steady income.
It's like a financial safety net that makes sure you're always getting something, even if the stock market goes down.
Exactly. The main thing is to figure out an investment strategy that works for you.
Right.
Your goals, how much risk you're comfortable with, and how long you want to invest for.
It sounds like a financial advisor is pretty important on this.
Oh, yeah, definitely. They can help you figure out all that stuff, make a plan, and make smart choices that help you reach your goals.
Okay.
They can also like talk through things with you
Mm-hmm.
and help you avoid making emotional decisions that might not be the best in the long run.
So it's like having someone on your team who knows the whole financial game
Right.
and can help you win.
Exactly. And remember, winning the lottery is just the start of something new. It's about taking that money and making a life you want, a life that means something.
It's about more than just the money. It's about using it to like build the life you've always wanted.
Precisely. And you can even use it to make a difference in the world.
Right.
Philanthropy, supporting causes you care about, investing in yourself.
Yeah.
The possibilities are huge.
It's like winning the lottery gives you a chance to like level up your whole life.
Exactly. It's like you get to write your own story and you've got this like financial freedom to help you along the way.
Okay, so before we wrap up part 2, I want to go back to that comment from user E.
The one about hiring Vivian.
Yeah. It just shows that people really need good financial advice.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to something as like complicated as this.
Yeah, figuring out money stuff can be really intimidating, especially if you don't know all the fancy terms and stuff.
Right.
Having someone who can explain things simply
Mm-hmm.
and answer your questions honestly is really valuable.
It's like finding someone who can cut through all the confusing stuff and make it like actually make sense for you.
Exactly. Being educated about money and being in control of your finances
Yeah.
is important for everyone, not just lottery winners.
Well said. Okay, so that's it for part 2 of our deep dive into what to do if you win the Powerball.
Yeah, we covered a lot.
We've talked about everything from the initial like shock of winning to thinking about the long term and managing all that money.
We talked about boundaries, the mental and emotional side of things, and how to invest wisely.
Yeah. And in part 3, we'll get into this whole anonymity thing, which is pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We'll talk about the legal side of it and
Yeah.
also like the ethics of it all.
Okay, so stay tuned for the last part of our deep dive. We'll wrap up everything from the TikTok video and leave you with some like food for thought.
Tickets.
Okay, so welcome back to the deep dive. We're on the last part of our exploration of what to do if you win the Powerball. And this time, we're getting into something that sparked a lot of discussion in the comments. Anonymity.
Yeah, it's a tough one, right? It's like you want to stay private, not have everyone bugging you.
Yeah.
But then there's also the whole like transparency thing, being accountable with that much money.
Right, like do you shout it from the rooftops or just like disappear quietly? People in the comments had some strong feelings about it.
Definitely. Remember the Crafting Cats NJ? They mentioned using a trust to stay anonymous in New Jersey.
Yeah, but then turns out the laws about all that are different everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, like MSR Day wished they could be anonymous in Michigan, but Rain of Fire pointed out it's just not allowed in California.
Wow, so it's not just like what you want, it's also a legal thing.
Exactly. Some states, they want everyone to know who won, but others are all about protecting the winner.
So it's like winning comes with its own set of legal hoops to jump through.
Yeah, for sure. And it makes you think about like the balance between, someone's right to privacy and the public's right to know.
That's a good point. Why do some states care so much about being open while others let you stay hidden?
Right. And it goes beyond just the lottery. It's about like our values as a society.
Definitely. The people who are all about transparency, they often say it keeps things honest, Make sure the lottery's fair.
Yeah.
They think the public deserves to know who's winning and what they're doing with the money.
It's like a check on the system, I guess.
Exactly. But then the folks who are pro-anonymity, they talk about the dangers of being, like, suddenly famous and rich.
Oh, yeah, all the scams and stuff.
Imagine being a target for, like, every crazy person out there just because they know you've got millions.
It's like winning could turn into a nightmare.
Yeah, it could definitely add a lot of stress to your life.
So they say staying anonymous lets you enjoy it without all that worry.
Yeah, like, wouldn't you rather just, like, chill and enjoy your luck instead of looking over your shoulder all the time?
Definitely. And remember, it's not just about the money. It's about how all this affects your life, your relationships, your peace of mind.
For a lot of people, that peace of mind is worth more than anything.
For sure. So it's this whole balancing act between like being open and staying private, being accountable, but also protecting yourself.
Yeah, it is. And at the end of the day, it's a personal choice.
Right. Based on what you value and what your situation is.
Exactly.
Well, this whole deep dive has been pretty amazing. We've covered so much about winning the lottery.
Yeah, it's been really interesting.
From that first, like, oh my gosh, I won feeling, to all the practical stuff, to the relationships, the mental side of it, this whole anonymity thing, and planning for the future.
And I hope everyone listening has gotten a better sense of, like, what it really means to deal with this kind of sudden wealth.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's like we went way past the spend it all idea and really got into the nitty gritty of it.
It's all about making good choices.
Yeah.
Getting advice from people you trust and figuring out what success means to you.
Exactly. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, here's something to think about. If you ever find yourself holding that winning ticket,
Fingers crossed.
stay grounded, remember what's important to you,
Mm-hmm.
and make a plan that fits your goals and values.
And hey, maybe someday one of our listeners will win big.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Until then, good luck with your numbers, and here's to a financial journey that's full of, like, purpose and, well, prosperity.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.